I think this is a very powerful forum because it brings together multiple functions of real estate management, property management, facility management and community management. There are very few such forums today, per my knowledge, in UAE and beyond. And the agenda overall touched multiple aspects that are relevant to these three functions. And to do that over a short period of 2 days, it's a lot. So I can imagine the amount of research and work that has gone through to put together the agenda, the speakers and the topics. So hats off, and I really wish to see more of this in the coming months and years. Well, of course, for any such experience, first thing are great contacts, right? And since it is the first year post-pandemic of these events, it's very valuable. And contacts and a lot of knowledge that we have got from not just our area of community and property management, but also from facility management, and how it all kind of loops back into what we do as well, and how we can collaborate with each of these functions. So these are some of the key elements that I think we will be taking. Oh, well, like any conference, industry conference, it is one of the main channels for our sales networking, lead generation, knowledge enhancement, as well as understanding the future of our segment, right? So in multiple ways it will impact our business goals. A lot of our target segment is residential real estate, and pandemic has pretty much put us all in our homes. And due to the pandemic, now remote work, hybrid work has become the norm, which means people are spending a lot more time in their homes. They are spending a lot more money on their homes to make their living and working convenient and impactful. So these aspects have really reoriented not just our business goals, but the industry towards technology for residential real estate. As of now, when you think about proptech, CRE, commercial real estate, was really the focus of a lot of technology, right? However, residential real estate did not get a lot of this focus and technology love. We are seeing that changing, and that to us is great because, in commercial real estate, yes, you make money, but in homes, you make babies, right? So to us, this is long pending, and that's a big change that pandemic has done in bringing the importance of residential real estate to the fore. Of course, real estate has gone through various, waves in the past. A lot of those were about building those structures for the purpose of investment, right? Many times the fact that whether a community will build around it, whether people would want to really live there, whether people will purchase to live there, has not been a big priority, right, earlier. And that is where we see there is an excess of inventory in certain places, maybe far-flung places away from downtown, where the developers did not take the effort to build associated aspects that really makes a community, that makes it a very great place to live in, right? And those are the inventories still being held, not yet sold. And we see a lot of these in Far East, where there are literally ghost towns, right, which are, the developers are unable to sell, they're going bankrupt and things like that. So now the developers have realized that they not only have to build, the location is not just the only thing, but building all the elements that can, have a thriving community there. Choosing the buyers who will actually live there, and lot of developers are going out of their way to find those right buyers. They're actually checking if the buyers have a business closer to that property they are buying, so that they know they are buying for living and not just for investing. Because a community where majority of the property is bought by investors, then what happens, the residents are very transient residents. They are mainly tenants, right? And they do not have as much ownership in the future of that building, that community, as a more of an owner residing community will have. So I think this is growingly becoming more important, especially for the rather high-end communities, etc., where the property prices are higher, and it is very important for the the developer to ensure that most of the inventory is sold to people who will live there. Well, there are many aspects. I'm sure that ESG is an area that is vast. However, since we deal with resident experience, a community management firm has great power in bringing in certain eco-friendly initiatives and habits. I'll give you a simple example. I know of communities that have shut down their waste disposal chute, because when you have the waste disposal chute on every floor, people dump mixed waste. They do not segregate, right? Whereas segregating at source is one of the most important tenets of waste management, right? So what happens is that when we are dumping it in the chute as a mixed waste, if you have to segregate, someone else has to manually segregate it. There is no automation today, per my knowledge, which can automatically segregate waste, right? So I know of some really forward-thinking community managements and communities who have actually shut down their chute, and they said, you know what, we are going to do door-to-door garbage collection, and we will ensure that they are segregated at source, right? So that the wet waste directly goes to compost. Dry waste gets recycled or sold or whatever, right? So to me, there are these really radical, steps that communities can take. Owners themselves can take. It is very hard for commercial companies to take this because they really cannot take the amount of change resistance they have to face from the owners or the residents. But if the residents themselves decide on such initiatives and they take it, there can be wonder. In fact, at ADDA, we have installed an award called Rise High Award, right? So our motto is, the developer builds the high rise, the community makes it rise high. So we have installed this Rise High Award, which actually recognizes these initiatives which are brought forward by the community themselves or the community management firm along with the community, right? So there are many, many great stories like this that people have done. Rooftop solar panels. They have created, veterinary enclosures for street dogs where the street dog is pregnant. So they bring those dogs there and, they are sheltering them, taking care of them medically until the dog gives birth, right? And then they are sterilizing the baby, vaccinating, and then that's okay. They are again putting them in their natural habitat, which could be the streets, right? It's all taken by the community themselves, right? So to me, those are the eco-friendly initiatives that can be happening at a community level.